Hi friends, it's your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Critical Role's recent Indianapolis live show and what happened with Daggerheart. Specifically, the character sheet on comicbook.com actually covered this because it was unusual. Right now, Critical Role is on a world tour, and they're celebrating an entire decade. And normally they play Dungeons and Dragons, although they've done a few other things. But now they have Daggerheart, so they decided to play a Daggerheart session uh, with the normal Critical Role crew, right? So they did this, and the character sheet on comicbook.com said that there there appeared to be an issue that was strong enough to have made to be the reason why Dungeons and Dragons was chosen for campaign for Aramon over Daggerheart, because a lot of people thought that Daggerheart was going to replace Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of people thought Daggerheart was going to replace Dungeons and Dragons, not just for campaign for Aramon, but replace it overall. And that appears to be quickly evaporating. Very few people believe that anymore. And so they talked about this issue that arose during play. And the issue was that specifically the Critical Role players were really afraid to roll dice, right? And they were very afraid to do anything significant or active that would prompt rolls, right? So they were trying to take actions that were not prompting rolls. And the reason why is Daggerheart is a 2d12 system, a white die and a black die, and the black die is the fear die. And if you could, so let's say your target is 8, right, and you roll with a 5 on your black die and a 3 on your white die, you have a success with fear. And whenever you trigger fear, you fuel the game master to do worse things to you. He can jump in and literally, he can jump in directly into the initiative, cutting off one of the other players from going. He can also increase damage, do specific moves that are triggered by activations, these full activations and full activations. And so because of this hope fear economy, the game master, as you play, you are fueling them to make your life worse, if not to defeat you, right? And they said this was so bad that the Critical Role players were clearly even afraid to roll the dice, and that just doesn't happen in Dungeons and Dragons. Now, why did this happen? This is really fascinating. It wasn't bad design? No. I think I think I know the reason for this. So I play Magic the Gathering, and they know this. They've known this for a long time. You can play test till the cows come home. You really don't know what your product's going to do until it hits the actual play community, because they will figure out things that your playtest group never even thought of. There's just no way around it. It's like jazz, right? Like it's like you can't see it until you're in the moment, right? Like in jazz, they change tempo and they do really wild, outlandish things to create new rhythms that really cannot be, they can't be predicted, not even by an AI, right? And it's the same thing here. Like Spencer Stark built this from the ground up, but there was really no way to understand what it would really look like until it hit the actual table with the actual community, and actually was under stress and was under the strain of literally 1,000 people in the audience watching and 10,000 people watching online, and under a microscope, right? And so it's really quite interesting that now that we're far enough out to see Daggerheart really put under strain, we're starting to see that it's not that Daggerheart wasn't built well. It was. The problem is it's extremely difficult to beat something that has 50 years of iteration. The jagged edges have been filed off, and when you have 5 months of play, they're just and so I think they knew there was just no way that this was going to bear the weight of an actual Critical Role campaign for Aramon. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.